Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, we're going through the Fremantle versus Carlton game, in which Carlton got over the line in the end. I think, it was Shearer's goal with about, 40 seconds to go in this game to win them another game. Carlton have won 2 or 3 games, is it now? No, so Carlton have won 2 games like that. Fremantle have also won a game after the siren from McCarthy's boot, but now lost one very close to the end. So a couple of these two teams seem to love to be in, I would say not love, but are in quite a lot of close results this year. Down games decided in the final minute or so. But anyway, let's just jump into this recap here. And it was the Mim Strom show here. As you can see, she ended up with 104, top scorer for the game, 47 hit-outs, 12 touches, 3 marks, 4 tackles. So a little bit light on the tackling and on the mark front from what we usually see from her. And it was actually a very consistent performance across 4 quarters from her, which is actually surprising given what I've been saying about her recently. She did fall away a little bit in the last quarter, only 21. She probably could have easily gone another little bit here, but she was facing a pretty good ruck duo in the Moody sisters that were both rucking in this game? Good and Moody, and then was there the other Moody here? Doesn't look like it. So they just had one Moody sister there. So she did well. She got her points that she needed. She's still top ruck for a reason, and I think it's just putting more question, what do we do next year? It'll be the big question that we go into it, is what do we do with the Marinoff selection, and what do we do in the ruck line, I think are going to be the 2 major issues, because I think a lot of people know what to do, what to hunt for in the back line and the forward line. It's just hunt for the midfielders. It's none of these half-back sort of nonsense unless you're looking at Daisy Darcy. So I just wonder if Mim Strom's almost going to come up into conversations, or is it just going to be on the front of who can catch her? Pugh 92, she did really well. We haven't really, I don't think, seen this out of Pugh much. If we just go here quickly, looking at Pugh, if we go to also the CBAs for Freo, you'll see here as well. I don't think Pugh's in zero CBAs. So she's been doing this outside of the CBAs, which is a little bit, as you can see, I just think this was an outlier performance, given that she scored 23 in a little less time on ground. But you can just see this is a massive outlier performance, and I wouldn't be going for Pugh just because of that. Newton 88, I do like this role quite a lot. If we look at the CBA role, you'll see again, Newton, where is she? She is over here. She's gone 192, 85% CBAs. I also do like that Gabby O'Sullivan's getting back in the CBAs, even though she couldn't score to save herself in this game. But the role's there. The role should follow her a little bit. And yes, it was probably a little bit contingent on Miller being out, that they had this sort of CBA run. And that East was back in, that sort of covered her a little bit. So maybe we'll see Gabby O'Sullivan miss a little bit next week when Miller is back in. But I do like this Newton role pretty well. I just want to see, what did O'Sullivan ended up on 39? That's pathetic. Newton 88, we talked about. McCarthy looked tracking well to score 100 odd, and then she just fell away in the last. No, it actually was the opposite. It felt like she was tracking well as well, but then again, this says it wasn't. I would like to see the timestamps of when she was scoring, because I thought that she was definitely up there. Maybe I was thinking about when she got to 39 quickly or something, but I thought she definitely did pretty well to get her scoring up. Maybe she just had a break in here or something like that, meant that, but I swear she was tracking for 100 and fell short, even though she had a massive last quarter. I swear she got up to 78 or something very, very quickly, and then must have had a break, and then came back on and didn't score much in the latter part of the game. But yeah, she's been an interesting case this year. Someone that we talked about in preseason and has sort of lived up to what we thought would happen. It's actually been Kaufman that probably has been the one that sort of surprised me in the Fremantle midfield. And I think that next year will be interesting when they have who's that? They've got Stannett and Bowers coming back in. So I think Kaufman and also Gabby O'Sullivan push out of that midfield for them, and maybe Newton pushes back to halfback. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens next year with that. But that is definitely, for the second year running, there will be an interesting case. O'Driscoll got off to an absolute flyer from memory. If I just go back here, O'Driscoll, yeah, you can sort of see that. She was on 44 at halftime. That's pretty much a flyer for a halfback. Scanlon, the same thing, and then they fell away in the second half. Brazel with 58, Kaufman, Antonio. Then we sort of get to the girls that really don't matter much here, other than I would say Gabby O'Sullivan. She's had a couple of down games, but I would think that she's gonna pick it back up again sometime soon, just because I don't know who Fremantle play necessarily, but she's had 2 down games, but the 3 before that were pretty outstanding at 84, 101, and a 67. So I think that you can count on her to get back to her best, but maybe that is just a little bit of wishful thinking. They've got West Coast, so I think she will stand up in that game. How does she play against West Coast? She averages 64 against them, which is one of her best, so I think she'll be able to stand up against them, and when she plays midfield time, she gets 70 odd. So yeah, I think that she'll do well there against West Coast. Now, moving on, I don't think anyone really matters for the latter half here of Fremantle. Maybe you could take when we talk about cash gen now with all the girls now, because a lot of the main positions for the women's for scoring points are sort of already taken up. So you'd almost be taking a bet, like hedging your bet on someone like a Biden Webb-Webster to go off and score like a 70 or something like that, which I don't think you can really do. So yeah, I'd be probably cash gen's very hard to find in the last couple of weeks now. Shearer, 100, she was amazing. Got off to an absolute flyer, slowed down, and then went off again in the last quarter. If I can get to the live scoring here quickly, let me get rid of those two. You'll see this, yeah. Pretty much, as I said, 61 at halftime. She looked like she was flying, and then an 8-point third quarter, and you go, well, she's now going to go on to score like a 95 maybe, give or take, and then went off in the last quarter to get to a clean 100, including the goal to end it. Goering as well got off to a pretty slow start, but then really built into the game and had a disappointing last quarter. She was on 79 at 3/4 time, and I thought maybe she might get to like a 110 if she can really push on. A 79 plus 30 is a 109, so maybe she could put a 30-point last quarter together and get to a 109, 110, give or take, and that would have been really, really good to see. But I do like how she's really getting those 24, 2, and 8. She's really built her game around tackling, which is absolutely necessary in the women's game to get good scoring. So yeah, she's one that maybe even takes another step next year. If she can get that ball-winning ability up to that point where she's averaging 25 touches a game, she'll be up there, because she averages 8 or 9 tackles a game, I believe. Let me just double check that for you guys. She averages 7.4, so close enough. But she only averages 18 touches per game. If she can get that up to 24, maybe 25 touches a game, she'll be, even with the tackles there sitting at 7.4, she'll be sitting there and she'll be averaging 105. I think that is 6 or so. 6 disposals, you can basically plus a 15 and then get that tackles up 1.5. She'll be averaging about 110 actually. So yeah, I think she's one that can definitely take that next step up. She also, I would like to see her just be chucked on ball full time, to be honest with you. I don't know why they're chucking her in forward for 14% CBAs here, 40. Just chuck her on ball full time. You know, when she went 88%, she went 116 here. So yeah, I just don't get that, to be honest with you. Yeah, so I don't know why they're trying to chuck her forward just to have her more time out on the ground. I would just rather them chuck her on ball fully, because that's just, she does better. Just good. 34 hitouts for an 85. Skepper as well, kicked 2 goals early on to get to a 79. I just don't like her role exactly. Mackay, Cordner, Peterson, Pound. Pound with a 60, so she's scoring, but she's so inconsistent that I wouldn't consider it. Fitzgerald, Finn on the wing, got to a 55, which was annoying that she, I think, went up in cash a little bit, but then again, she was needed to just chop at that point. Hill, Moody, Ortlop, Anthony, Keck, Goss, Robertson, Vesio. Vesio again putting up a stinker. She's just not going to score fancy points regularly, even if she's on a wing. Austin Brown, and then Lawson Tavan. So basically that's the video there. I know I went through the Carlton girls very quickly, but that's because at the end of the season, none of these girls really that aren't scoring about 55 or above are really fancy relevant at all. And a lot of the fancy relevance for Carlton comes down to Shearer, Goering, maybe Good to a certain extent. And that's pretty much it. And then for Fremantle, it is Strom, Newton, O'Driscoll, and then probably you'd say also Gabby O'Sullivan. And then that other than that, for them, they don't really have much fantasy relevance as we're looking for the primos, because there's not really any cash gen left in the game. But if you did enjoy that video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and I'll see you guys in the next recap. Bye, guys.